Hello, everyone. This is technically episode 2 of our Rewire to Wellness podcast. Caleb is joining me, and we started talking because he's from Austin, and I'm here in Selkirk, Canada. Two different cultures, complete different everything pretty much right now. So he's been just asking me questions lately about, how I explain what I do and the art of everything. And in that conversation, I thought, well, why don't we make another podcast episode where instead of us just talking, you ask me some questions of what you feel like people in the United States, of where you're from, that might not understand fully what it is that we're doing here. And that kind of sparked an idea. So I said, okay, grab the computer, the microphones, let's do it. So I don't know what kind of questions he has written down. I said, write them down. Figured out what you think that people should understand about this, and then let's go from there. So this is going to be new to me, but I think it's exciting. So, by the way, like the first episode, Caleb is here. He can talk.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, see, there he is. So yeah, Caleb, again, episode 2. So you got some questions that you want answered. Have at it, my friend.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, I guess let's just jump right into it. The first question is, Evan, what do you call what you do? What do you do?
Oh, great. Okay. So for the last 40 plus years, everything that I've been doing has been called Sho-Tai. And that was developed from my mentor, the master, my best friend, pretty much my role father figure, named Terry Bell. And what he did, that's why it's not really in the States. That's why we're doing these questions, is because it's so profound. Like, he developed this art form of taking a couple of the modalities that have already existed and combining them into this super modality that you can run through the system in a matter of minutes and figure out the root cause of what's going on. And he does it with iridology and with tongue reading, face reading, looking at your nails even, in the form of muscle testing that we do, which is way different than most, because most muscle testing, which by the way we'll probably get into, is reading the frequency of the human body in every organ and gland, which muscle testing in general is a yes or no answer. And he's developed this technique of where it's beyond a yes or no answer, it's a percentage. So when we muscle test how well is the heart doing, we can actually get a percentage, which I would say 90% of the time even lines up with the medical profession diagnosis as well too. So it's really cool. So I've been studying under Terry Bell for about 18, 19 years now. He has since passed away. So I've taken that over. So I've developed this new kind of technique as well too, because he was a master at everything imbalanced in the physical body. But I've kind of taken it onto this new aspect of the physical body, but intertwining that with everything that we encompass, which is emotional, spiritual, mental, everything else involved. So to take that, it only feels right to honor everything he's ever done, because we'll never match. He was a genius, a blessing, an angel walking the earth with everything he developed. But for myself, I've taken that. It encompassed the spiritual, because that was a great component that he's taught me that we can talk about. But the emotional, the mental, physical thinking thing, more the vibrational aspect of how we control the matter around us. And I've called that Aurakinetics. And the reason I'm calling it Aurakinetics is the word aura means energy field of every living thing that is around us, every living thing, plants, trees, your thoughts, your human body. Everything has an aura, which means a living frequency. Kinetics, scientific, means the muscle movement, the putting things in motion, things around us. So we're taking basically the human energy and the way it moves and intertwines with everything around it to encompass what we call wellness. So Aurakinetics is what I'm calling the art form of what Terry Bell taught me, Sho-Tai, to move in a new direction. So that's what I call it, Aurakinetics.
Wow, well said, Evan. I guess my next question is really like what do you offer? I think the coolest thing about what you do and what this system does is like you guys do so much. So what all do you offer, and where have you taken this?
What do I offer? Well, sorry. The number one thing that why people come to us, if I always ask, so who referred you? Why are you here? Well, at the end of the appointment. But anyways, they always say, because I have no answers anywhere else. So we offer answers as to why people are feeling the way they are from all those aspects. The physical body, why they're mentally stuck in this rut, why spiritually they feel lost, and why they're just energetically like encompassing they're not there. So everything I explained about what Aurakinetics is, how we combine that together, essentially is what I offer. But in terms of that, it is scientifically applied kinesiology, which is muscle testing in a certain way that we do, and we're the only ones that do it that way. Then we read iridology. It's to study the eyes, and then the tongue, like I said before, the face, fingernails, essentially the whole body. We do things like emotion release. We release trapped emotions and traumas that are stored in the tissue and the fascia of the body, because that really messes up our nervous system. We can also work on things where we talk about how we think, the positive neural pathways, because a lot of our inner dialogue, this actual root cause is negative. So when we think and we do 1,000 positive affirmations a day, we wonder why we're still in this rut. It's because the actual true intent of our thought is not positive. It's negative. So basically, we do a whole body encompass service, which means where are your deficiencies in the body? What are you lacking? What do you need? Supplement, vitamin, amino acid wise. We talk about dietary things, what you shouldn't be eating, what is more better for your body. We release the stored emotional trauma. We reconnect you to your positive thinking, which is essentially your higher self. And then we just help you out from there. So it's an entire 360 whole life change, essentially, is what we offer.
Wow, well said again, Evan. So where I'm kind of thinking is like most of the people probably listening to this that I know that I would know is these are the kind of people like, you know, they're pretty, you know, they're taking supplements, you know, they're trying to do the best that they can with everything that they know already. So, and I know you see so many people every day. I mean, gosh, you're literally going on tour all throughout Canada, and you see so many people every day. So I guess what my next question is if you see someone who's, you know, they're taking supplements and they're reading up and really trying to learn, but they're trying to feel, I don't know, they're trying to feel happier, have more energy, you know, have a clearer skin, better sleep, less brain fog. Like, what would your recommendations be that you see over and over again that most people aren't aware of yet? What are some essentials?
Well, see, that question is a double-edged sword, really, because you say, what's the essentials for that? It comes down to the whole encompass of what Aurakinetics is. It goes back to, well, why is this happening to the person? Example I use all the time with first-time clients is you have identical twins, complete identical twins, something obviously you know about. If you got the same kidney disease with identical twins, the same cells, the same genetics, what might work for that one twin will not work for the other, because even though we're twins, you are still an individual and there's still some uniqueness to them. So the whole encompassing thing of what we offer is the exact root cause. Why? Why is this happening? And really that gets broken down to a couple things. Well, two things. An excess or deficiency, which means not enough vitamins, minerals, amino acids, too much of something, too much pizza, too much bread, too much carbs, too much sugar, too much alcohol, too much smoking, too much things in the body where it cannot balance out. So excess, deficiency. Also, the body heals through frequency. Frequency is a big thing now with bioresonance, biofeedback, a whole bunch of things like that, where it's killing and balancing viruses and diseases in the body through frequency. But it comes back to your thought. Your thoughts are neural pathways. It's a vibration which sends it to every cell. The cell replicates with what vibration it's getting sent to, and then also conforms to that. So realistically, that question is hard to answer with the fact that everybody is so unique. However, there are two staples that we focus on that I think a lot of people neglect, which is thyroid and bowel. So what I mean by that is thyroid is part of your immune system, but also because it's the governing gland in the body that balances vitamins and minerals, which in turn is hormones. Every organ and gland of the body needs certain vitamins and minerals to function. Just like gasoline is a liquid, so is fruit juice. You can't put fruit juice in the car, it won't work. It needs gasoline. It's got to be the right genetic components to function for that vehicle. So if everything's good and then you go to the doctors and there's no answer for why you're feeling the way you are, but yet we muscle test you and find out, well, the kidney's lacking potassium and it's coming from the thyroid, you can give the body all the potassium it wants, but it needs to be methylated from the thyroid and converted, so you got to target the thyroid. If we target the thyroid in the bowel, 95% of any disease, illness, imbalance in the body corrects itself. Why? Because the body is constantly trying to repair itself. It knows how to repair itself. It's just in this day and age, this world that we live in, we are deficient in so much in our food. The food is toxic, it's poison. We are in a constant state of stress and fight or flight, so we cannot heal with that energy, that frequency, and there's too much deficiencies or excess. So basically, to answer your question, we muscle test you to figure out what you're deficient in, then give it to you. What are you, too much excess? Well, stop this. And then we look at your energy levels and go, okay, well, you are in a state of fight or flight, so let's work on the emotional trauma and get rid of that. So it's tough, but really comes back to what we focus on is the actual root cause, and the physicality of the body depends on the health of someone's thyroid and the bowel, because you are what you eat, and that's not just a clever saying, it's because that's where everything starts from.
Gotcha. So essentially, when a new client comes into your office, you're going to them and you're going through your process where you're muscle testing, you're analyzing like their vitamin and mineral levels down to a percentage, their organ and gland capacities and congestions down to a percentage, and you're finding the root cause of what they need and what's going on with them. So it's different for every person.
Right.
So, okay. So I guess my next question is even though every client and every person who comes in your office is different, what are some things that you see every single time? What are some, like, what are vital?
First of all, overeating wrong foods and constantly in the state of stress. So no matter what any person comes in, whether it's a pimple on their cheek or stage 4 cancer, their nervous system is shot. They are in a state of fight or flight, stress response, which means they cannot be in the actual realm of healing. This comes back to the frequency aspect I just talked about. So it means they are in a lower vibration, fight or flight, which means every cell is governing at that lower vibration. So even the nutrition you give them, like selenium for something like a heart issue, that it might help. Disclaimer, I can't say what vitamin works with what here in Canada. So if somebody had an issue and they took some vitamin for it, it will not even work if the vibration of the cells in the body is not up to par because they're stressed. So stress is number one. Stress is the biggest thing, and the stress goes down, it lowers our vibration, which is why we get that addiction and the lower dopamine to want to eat certain foods, why we want certain attention from other people, why we get addicted to certain things. It all comes down to stress. Brain is number one. Can literally fix a disease or cause a disease within seconds. That's been proven. So if we are in a constant state of stress where our nervous system is suppressed, then how can we ever recover or get out of that if we don't focus on that? So realistically, anybody that comes because they're suffering that anything, the common cause of everything is the fact that they are overwhelmed, stress, their vagus nervous system is in a state of fight or flight. So that's what needs to be addressed.
Gotcha. Okay, so stress and their nervous system. Okay, so
and eating poorly.
So I thought it was funny because when I first met up with you guys had this little magnetic sticker that said, "Did you take your salt today?"
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny. And why do you guys talk about that so much? Because obviously there's so much about, we want to avoid sodium, right?
Right. Well, if a doctor's telling you to avoid sodium, you should probably turn around and take sodium. The reason that is, I have those stickers or magnet stickers, did you take your salt today, is because salt is the number one mineral that our body requires to function on all levels. We are the salt of the earth. Go back to biblical terms. When you are cremated, it's salt that's left. Think of everything else. When animals like cows cannot produce milk if they don't have salt blocks. Why do we hit so many cars or animals on the road when we're driving? After they salt the roads or rain, things like that, where salt will come out, is because they're on the roads licking the salt off the roads. Animals know best. We need to go back to our habitual traits like that. But salt does so many things. When you are admitted to the hospital, what do you think they do that makes you feel better? They admit you to the hospital, they put saline solution in, which is sodium chloride, that is salt in water diluted properly, and they will pump that through you, 4 bags, 5 bags, 15 bags, until all of a sudden no symptoms are left. You feel better. Their blood work comes back. Why? Because salt fixes it. And then off you go. And then as you walk out the office, they say, well, remember, don't take salt. Why? Because it'll raise your blood pressure. It'll cause everything to do with all these imbalances, which is not true. They're not lying to you, but they're not telling you the whole truth, which means salt comes from the sea, has been put into kilns, heated up to 1200 degrees. It's been processed. It is now a chemical poison. So if you take it, it flushes out your minerals or vitamins. It makes you retain fluid, raises your blood pressure. It causes all these arthritic diseases and symptoms. But if you take the right type of salt, which is natural, like Redmond sea salt, Celtic salt, it flushes out excess fluid. It makes you absorb your vitamins and minerals. It lowers blood pressure. It does all these things that we basically go to the walk-in clinic for every day and get a new prescription because of sodium. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think if every single person took salt in water, the pharmaceutical company would crash because it fixes pretty much 95% of what people are suffering with. And it's kind of been excavated that way. It's been brainwashed for people to not take salt. Don't take salt. I can't. I have high blood pressure. Don't take salt. I have kidney disease. Don't take salt. I have arthritis. Don't take salt. I can't. That's why you have these issues. Salt is what creates everything. So the number one simple thing is to do a refrigerator magnet that says, did you take your salt today? Because it's so simple that everybody, including myself, forgets. There's times I will wake up and I go, I feel so crappy today. Well, when's the last time I took salt? I will lick my wrist. Why? Because that's the first indication. Lick your wrist. If it doesn't taste salty like a salty potato chip, it means you're low on salt. And I don't taste no salt. So then you take salt, and I instantly feel better. Everyone should lick their wrist right now like a cow licking salt block. No, I'm not calling you a cow. But then if you indicate the presence of salt, your sodium level's okay. If you don't taste no salt, you need a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt in water right now. And headaches, everything, well, I got to watch what I say. I don't know. It could be proven. We're in Canada. You can't say those types of things. Take the salt and water, and I bet you will feel better. That's why we have salt magnets.
Gotcha. And I guess one more thing that I heard you I hear you talk about a lot is baking soda. Why do you personally like taking that?
Great question. A lot of people have heard, if they're into health, that no disease or serious diseases cannot form in an alkaline environment, only acidic, which is mainly true. And sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, is produced by the kidneys, the pancreas, and the stomach daily to put your body into an alkaline state. From the pancreas, it's produced to balance excess sugar, insulin, because a lot of the times neuropathy is caused from an excess sugar that stays in the bloodstream and it deteriorates the arteries, the veins, so you get wounds that won't heal, you get tingling, you get eye issues. So sodium bicarbonate will alkalize that and then counteract that. Not puffed, bloated, gastric, heartburn, indigestion, H. pylori, all these things with the stomach. Sodium bicarbonate helps calm that down. Kidneys, uric acid, gout, muscle pain is an excess, like goes back to the deficiency excess. It's an excess of uric acid. and sodium bicarbonate helps reduce that and push that out of the body. So basically, when you take a half teaspoon of baking soda, best before bed. Why? Because at nighttime is when you need to sleep and heal. You go into the realm of healing. Most people will shut their eyes at 9 p.m., wake up at 6 a.m., feel like they have not rested a minute. It's because they are too acidic. Their body doesn't get to the REM sleep. So baking soda before bed helps you sleep, helps balance pancreas, type 2. I got to watch the say, type something diabetes. I got to, indigestion, uric acid, gout, arthritic symptoms, so many things. So basically it comes back to sodium and the importance of sodium. Salt in the morning, because salt is your number one electrolyte. Your get up, your go, your drive, your focus, your digestion. Nighttime, it's your calm down, relax, rest, heal, put the body into a state of being able to heal.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess what most people may be wondering now is like, how can they how can they find you? How can they find us? Like, I know the people that I'm gonna refer. I know that they're gonna know me and they're gonna know what I do in Austin. But how can they hear more from you? Like, do you have a YouTube or anything like that?
YouTube's, yeah. We have a YouTube channel which originated from Terry Bell, right? So it was I think it was Herb Doc originally, but now you just have to Google our company name, which is Health Track Wellness, and it comes up. Facebook, Health Track Wellness. So what we do and what we provide, what was one of your first questions, is Aurakinetics. But my company name is Health Track Wellness. So if you Google Health Track Wellness on any platform, well, I shouldn't say any. I know Instagram, YouTube, we have a website, healthtrackwellness.com. That's how you can find and follow what we're up to and what we're doing. But it just blew me away, the difference in the culture from the United States to Canada. And having you here for the last couple of weeks has been eye-opening to me, but also a blessing because we get to share where this big difference is coming from and then help people with the right information to bridge that gap so they can be on the same page. And by the way, I haven't known Caleb very long, but I know he was studying what we do back in the United States with other people. And then I was holding the class from Regina, so he showed up. I knew of him, seen him on a Zoom call once or twice. And then to be certified, it's not just free for all. You got to write a practicum, an exam. You got to do all these things. And he wrote it and blew me away because I didn't know him much, but obviously what he was studying and how he was doing it was great. So he's right on track. I love what he's doing. I think that he's a great fit for Aurakinetics. So I think it's great to grow this in the United States, around the world, because realistically, what we offer is the ability to look at somebody's eyes, tongue, tap on their shoulder, which is muscle testing, take a couple minutes and find out exactly what is going on. I cannot express how many times people come in. I say, don't tell me what's going on. Don't tell me nothing. I tap on their shoulder and say, here's what's happening. They go, that took me years of diagnosis from doctors and this and that to even come close. And you pinpointed with a percentage of what's going on. Well, we all have that ability. I'm not more special than you are. I just know how to do it. So I would love to be able to share what I've shared with Caleb and teach people around the world to help each other out. So this art form of Aurakinetics is just starting. It's just blowing up because Terry Bell, God rest his soul, has done an amazing job of taking the art in the physical body, but now taking it with, like I said, the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental aspect, because the mental and the mind and how we think controls everything. And that's my real passion. So I'm excited to take that under the presence of Aurakinetics and really, hopefully, spread it across the world.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Evans, for taking the time to explain what you do. And it's an absolute honor to work with you and to learn this just amazing system. And I know that people are just going to be excited to check it out and check out what you're doing and what we're doing and what I'm doing. So thank you very much, Evan.
My pleasure, because really it's not a matter of we're bringing to the table an amazing thing. It's time they need this. We need this more than ever. The medical system is failing. It shouldn't be left into a doctor's hands of here's your diagnosis, here's your prognosis. We are in control of our life, our fatality, what happens. We control that mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. It's time to take the control back. And that's why I'm sharing this, because there's a million modalities out there, and I'm not neglecting none of them. All of them. Meditation, Reiki, shamanism, everything that we do, every aspect, live blood analysis, all the natural, everything is incredible. But what we offer really encompasses all of it. And I'm not saying it's better than anything else. But what I am saying is it's time people understand and learn to do what we do to help themselves and their families to take their health and wellness back in control for themselves, not just what the medical system does.
Yeah, well said.
Amen, brother.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, that was Caleb asking me some questions of what it is that we're doing here and why he's here in Canada right now. So reach out to your boys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care.